I never got to meet my Uncle Junie. He was killed in the Port Chicago explosion, and like many of the seamen who met their untimely death during that disaster, his remains were never found. My mother was just 7 years old in 1944. She recalls her most vivid memory of Brother Junie, as she called him, as a time when he was coming home one day. She saw him in the distance and ran up to him, giving him a big hug. He picked her up and put her on his shoulders and carried her home. I was in the military for over 20 years before my mother told me about this memory of Uncle Junie. She told me how he had served in the Navy during World War II, loading ships in Port Chicago, and gave me a copy of Dr. Robert Allen's book, The Port Chicago Mutiny. She recalled that Uncle Junie was supposed to be on leave that day, but swapped duty with a shipmate. That would be his last kind act of service. His service to our country led the way for his brother George, a soldier, and his brother August, a Marine. Fellows-bred family members continued to serve our country during peace and wartime. My sister Allison retired from the Army National Guard. My cousin Martin retired from the Air Force. My cousin Marcellus served in the Air Force as well. My cousin Jay served in the Army. My cousin Tony served in the Army. And I retired from the Air Force Reserve after 30 years of service. We all stand on the shoulders of Uncle Junie and thank him for his ultimate sacrifice for our nation and paving the way for desegregation in the military.